Yes, we do not monkey around here on the Corpsepaint show. We know that you, probably like me, are sick and tired of corporate crappy music that gets shoved down your throat and you just hear it all the time wherever you go. I'm tired of crappy music. That's why we started this show. This show was a brainchild of our co-host Janie Slash. She's off today. Thank you, Janie Slash, for coming up with this idea, but we want to promote underground metal, underground punk, extreme music of any kind, really. But just underground music that's different, maybe you haven't heard. The fact that it's underground doesn't mean it's no good. It simply means you haven't heard it. A lot of these bands want to stay in the bunker. That's where we're recording from right now in Dallas, Texas, on Air Media. But look, on this show, we're going to bring you some extreme examples of underground music. Shortly, we'll be talking to Sandra from Nekrodelirium, a great Norwegian band. We'll talk to her about her new video, new plans, their tour, etc. And then we'll bring on Meat Train, filthy UK grindcore death metal. And then later in the show, believe it or not, we're talking to one of the most satanic bands on the planet, SARGEIST. SARGEIST. We had a recorded phone call with Profundus, who is their vocalist for SARGEIST. Guys, let's talk about some fun things that have happened here in Dallas in the last week. Number one, we had a super screening with Little Spark Films to show the 30th anniversary screening of Hellraiser. I'm holding up a picture here that Paul Taylor signed for me. I hope you can see it okay. Paul Taylor is the new Pinhead in the movie Hellraiser Judgment. That will be forthcoming. Paul Taylor was there in attendance. We're glad to have him at our screening. And that was actually in Arlington, Texas at Studio Movie Grill. Wanted to let you know as well that there are some events coming up with our co-host Janie Slash. She's doing Burlesque Bingo. And we're going to show you a little info on the location of those bingos, burlesque bingos coming up. Real fun events, and of course, they're cool, they're burlesque, and they're neo, and they're different. So, and then, I just want to share with you what I'm listening to right now. Nordjyvel. This is a band we'll be playing as an underbed here, and they're Scandinavian black metal. They're actually from Finland. Let's talk about the extreme metal bands from Finland that we've had on this show. We had some pictures of Archgoat. We didn't actually have him in the studio, but we did talk to Impaled Nazarene and also Lordi. Finland is brimming with extreme black metal, it seems, right now. And I want to get to know this band Nordjyvel a little bit better. Man, it kind of is that traditional black metal approach, energy, and sound. And I freaking love it. So if, like me, you're freaking tired of corporate music that you hear all the time, especially, man, around the holidays, there's all that repetitive stuff. It's crappy. We want some dark, underground, different metal. And that's what this show, we hope, really, really promotes for you guys and for all of us. Hey, we have the pleasure of talking. Actually, this is our second time on this show to visit with Sandra Stensen, who is the vocalist, guitarist. She also plays bass. She plays a lot of instruments. and she was the founder of Nekrodelirium, one of my favorite bands right now. They have an EP out. It's called Apocalypse, and we're going to bring Sandra on and visit with her here. We will have a live video call with Sandra and talk about her band, everything going on in Norway. Hi, Sandra.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. Thank you for joining us again.
Yeah, it wasn't so long ago.
Yes, and and you've got the EP out right now. It's called Apocalypse, and I'm just loving every song on there. And I was glad to hear that you had mentioned me. You're cutting a video for a third song from the EP, right?
Yeah, that's right. We're actually recording it right now. We recorded the storyboard, so we have only a few shooting left. So it will be out in about a few months. The third video from Apocalypse. So it is Distorted Device.
Distorted Device.
The music video for.
And so you wrote the song, you wrote the lyrics, but who storyboards the video? Is that all spearheaded by you?
To correct, I wrote the lyrics and a part of the song, but I also wrote this song together with Eric Røyås, the drummer.
Okay.
So he also wrote
credit to
wrote
Eric.
The song.
Yes.
And yeah, the storyboard for the video, I will be acting in the video, and you will see it is about torturing. If you read the lyrics, I hope we will be able to show something visually, or what I'm trying to say. But you will see. I will let you know. I'll let you judge for yourself. It will be a surprise.
Okay.
It will be out soon. It will be like November, December, I hope.
Yes. Now, you had mentioned to me earlier that it's starting to get cold in Norway. Are you in Norway at the moment?
No, I'm in Sweden at the moment.
Okay.
I'm from Norway, but I live in Sweden right now, in Stockholm.
Yes. Okay. And that you were thinking about doing an outside shoot, but it's too cold to have the drum set outside. And so I hope all of this works out, and that you can get it done soon, and that is great, and that's what you want.
Exactly. We have to work a little to get things the way we want, but as always, when we do photo shooting or video, sometimes it's painful, sometimes it's very cold.
Yeah.
But we have to do everything for making it the way we want. So we have to suffer a little.
You do,
and
sometimes when I watch music videos, maybe you too. Now, when I watch music videos and I see that they do numerous edits and angles and takes, it seems to me like I think to myself, this band must have worked for weeks just doing the same song, and I imagine it's not completely exciting, but when you finish the product and look at it, it's worth it.
Yeah, that's the way you should feel if you have been suffering when you're doing something. You should be proud of it afterwards. And even if you're not 100% satisfied, you should always think that, but it was worth it somehow.
Yes, for sure. And I wanted to ask you also a little more, because we I just kind of want our audience to hear this and see this, but how was the tour you did over the summer with Absu? And of course, they're based right here in Texas. But you had a European tour with them, and it looked very exciting from the pictures you posted on Facebook.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was actually Nargroth's tour. So
yes.
Nargroth was the headliner band. They're from Germany.
Yes.
And they were awesome, by the way, just to mention it. And Absu, they were also on the tour, which was very cool, and especially since it's a great coincidence that they are from the same city as you.
Yes.
We had also Hate from Poland.
Right.
And it was us, my band Nekrodelirium. We also had another support band, Blood Recruited from Belgium. They were also supporting together with us.
And isn't this...
It was awesome.
Yeah, isn't this funny that this package tour had, you know, a band from Germany and a band from Poland and you and Absu, you know, from different countries also. And it's all together, and you're all making sinister music, and that's kind of our point on this show. You know, it's a worldwide thing. Of course, you know, we're talking mainly about Europe and America there, but worldwide there are so many bands making extreme metal and sinister metal, and I just love that. I think that it's unheard outside of the underground. But there's some great music being made right now.
Yeah, it was very cool that we were so many nationalities, actually. We were on the same bus. We had Germany, Norway, America, and Poland. But we also had different nationalities. We had Swedish people in my band. I was the only Norwegian one. We had Swedish people from my band. And there were also different nationalities in the other bands as well. I know that Nargroth had session members from France. So yeah, great mix of nationalities, but it was also great bands, and it worked very well. It was awesome people, and the Nargroth guys were just awesome, so nice to us. And it was also awesome that we got to meet the Americans. I really feel we have friends for a lifetime now.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to reach out to Conscriptor, and I think I've sent him a note already, but I am still working on him to come in our studio and visit the Corpsepaint show here in Dallas, since we're so close.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah,
cool.
Their band is extreme and awesome, and I know known worldwide. When you're on this tour and you're playing kind of early in the lineup, are there a lot of metalheads who are there ready to see all the bands?
Yeah, I was very surprised. There were different kind of gigs, you know. At some gigs there was like not so many people, but I feel it was not so many people at our gig, but it was also less at the headliner shows. But we had also gigs where there was so many people even watching the first bands. We had like full audience, and you can imagine that was awesome when the headliner bands played as well. So it is really different. It can be one day it is awesome, so many people, and they are just crazy, and the next day there's just a few people. It feels like and people are just standing still, just watching like policemen or something. No, it's really different. Even in the same countries, it can be big difference from city to city or from venue to venue.
That's very, very interesting to me. And really what it comes down to, I guess, is a study of human behavior and how it can vary in region to region, even if it's in the same country. But I don't know, it is kind of strange, and it must kind of mess with you a little bit. You don't know what to expect, I guess, right? From night to night?
Yeah, that's right. We really have no idea. Sometimes someone tells us that, okay, this is a great venue. There are always a lot of people there, of course. And sometimes there are cities, especially in big cities, they can warn us that, okay, it's a lot of gig in the city at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
So there are always just a few people at each shows because they have so many different gigs to decide, okay, where to go, this one, this one, this one. So sometimes we know a little, especially for capitals, but it is kind of cool when you go to a gig and you expect there to be only a few people, not so many, and then they are just crazy, just a lot of people, and everyone just loves us and feels like we are a huge band when we are even just a small band. So we have great surprises sometimes.
Right. Or if you start your set and then you draw more people over, and you can kind of tell you're winning them over during your set, right?
Yeah, exactly. And also to mention, at the merch table, when you see that you sell so many CDs after the show, then you can kind of know that, okay, you did a great show. They're interested. They want to hear more. They want to buy the CD. That's cool.
That's a good gauge. I hear you.
Yeah.
You told me earlier that you, I think, started on the violin.
Yeah, that's true. That was my first instrument. Or to be honest, the first instrument was a small keyboard, a little piano. But I started to play violin at a violin teacher.
Yes.
That was great. I loved it so much, and I feel that I was actually very good at it as well. It was not difficult at all. It was very, very cool. But my problem is that I cannot play by any notes. I don't know how to do that. I can only play from my head. So if I know the song in my head, if there is, for example, a Christmas song, a child song or something that I know, I can play it. But to look in a book with a lot of signs, I don't know what's that. Which sound is that dot? Or I don't know. So I need to hear the song and then I can play it. I play from my head. I don't know what it's called.
Well, I would almost call it self-taught, but you said you had a violin teacher.
Yeah, and I had to quit because she said, it's amazing that you can play so awesome songs that you know, but you need to be able to just look in a book and know exactly what to play. So therefore I had to quit.
All right, so she wanted you to read music?
Yeah, kind of, to read notes.
Yeah, to read notes. I think some of the best musicians do not read notes, do not know how to read music, and it's all just from the heart and the head.
Yeah, that might be true. I think there are perhaps some good musicians that can do both, but I think it's very important to have that you don't have to read by notes, that you can also hear that you know when someone plays something that you can hear and play the same. So yeah, I'm not sure, but I know that I started to play guitar instead a few years later, because then I could just listen to a Metallica song and I could learn it. It only took a few minutes and then I could figure it out on the guitar myself.
Did maybe knowing violin help guitar?
Excuse me, what did you say?
Did knowing violin help you in learning guitar?
What to say? It's a string instrument, but yeah, kind of. With it is kind of the same. You have the bands, and on my violin, I was very young. I think it was like 8 years old or something, 7, 8 years old, and they had these markings on the violin, which we have on the guitar. So it was very easy. But I must say that I can play any instrument if I just learn how to use them. Then I can play them. It just takes some time. I can play piano. I'm self-taught at the piano. I'm self-taught by any instrument. And it was even the violin kind of, because all the songs, I never learned them by this book she gave me. I learned them by listening to the song a few times and then figured it out myself.
Yes. And I think that's excellent. I think that's great. You know it in your head, and I don't know, you were made to be a musician, it seems to me. You know all
and I can feel that too.
Yeah, you feel it inside, and you're being honest with yourself and your mind and your body and your hands, and you're bringing it out. So I love that. Hey, I love Necromentia, the video of the song from Apocalypse. And would you mind if we're going to kind of break, but we're going to show the video and then we'll come right back to you. So don't go anywhere.
Sure. It's a long video.
It is. It's about
like 7 minutes.
Yeah, it's about 7 minutes, but it's every moment is wonderful in this video. But I definitely want to talk to you about it. So we'll be right back.
All right.
God, that is the best thing I've ever heard. We are speaking with the multi-talented, multi-instrumentalist Sandra Stensen from Nekrodelirium. That song was Necromentia. Do I have that right?
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm very happy that you like it.
Wow, that is some powerful stuff. In your words, what's the message?
Well, most of the time I like people to figure that out themselves.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I can say that the video can show a little how I mean.
How you think?
When you see the circle, you see the rituals. Does that say something? And we have the skulls with the dead human, the dead human skulls.
Yes.
In the circle, it's death rituals. And you see in the circle, I'm laying dead, and then I'm suddenly in the coffin, and yeah, I'm dying. It's like, but in the last thing you see in the video, I'm opening my eyes from the coffin. So it says something about that, and even in the lyrics you can hear that I talk about bringing people back from the dead.
Yes.
That I feel that there is a connection between life and death that I cannot explain with words, but I am still explaining that there is something I believe that's are in between, and that you can connect with this other side. I don't know what to call it. And by rituals, I'm doing that. And I'm also talking a lot about suffering in this life. In the course, I'm saying like all this life I lived sacrifice, but ends up just rotting away. I'm trying to say something about the soul that I believe that some people have. Yes. And some animals, that we have souls. So what I'm trying to say is that, okay, it's maybe not the body that is you can bring back, because yeah, we are rotting, and you can see the human skulls, it's just skeleton left, but there might be some way to bring the soul back to this life. But why do we want the soul back in this life? It's like I'm trying to explain this, but not explain why I think this way, more that, okay, I think this way.
I gotcha.
Do?
Yes, it's an observation that you've experienced about a connection, and more than that, the listener just has to put their own meaning into it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I don't expect people to understand what I'm talking about, because I believe that not many people do. They don't understand, and they're not going to understand. They have to understand it. I think that some people that have experienced death, had death experiences, they can understand it. But I think most people don't, and I think people should be very happy if they don't understand this. But I saw a movie once that explains this, and I think that, oh, this guy who read this movie, he must understand this, what I believe in and what I think I understand. And you meet people sometimes that explains experiences that I feel that, okay, this person might understand, but most of people don't. And we also have kind of some people also, they're interested in what is this connection, what happens when we die, what happens before it turns just black. Yeah, there are different theories, but I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about, actually.
I do. No, I do.
It's also a reason why the band is called Nekrodelirium, because most people think I am in just delirium. I'm delirious all the time because I have some strange ideas and strange thoughts.
Yeah. Oh, all right. That's good. It must have been fun to film this too, because you've got candles, you've got human skulls, you've got the pentagram, you've got the casket, and I think you told me it was in an old house in Norway.
Oh yeah, the location was perfect.
Yeah.
It was really perfect. It was in a haunted train station.
Oh.
It's a museum today. Actually, it's like kind of a museum that there is a guy, Jimmy is his name. He owns this place, so it's his house. He bought this. It says it's haunted. It's a very old house. And in the attic, this house, it's very scary actually. But I didn't experience any ghosts, but I could feel like some kind of presence. It was just perfect when I was at the attic, and we made this pentagram you can see on the floor, and we had these human skulls. So we had the death surrounding me, and we had the candles. We had everything. It felt strong. It felt powerful somehow. It was just perfect for this. We had the perfect location.
And these were these real human skulls?
This guy has a lot of real stuff from old stuff as well, like all the torturing instruments, and a lot of he has a lot of animals.
This is in the museum.
The thing is that these dead animals, they are self-dead. They're found, in the forest. They are dead by themselves.
Yes.
Somehow he knows someone who fixed them so they look beautiful again. I don't respect people if they kill animals just to have them around on the wall or something. I want to kill these people because they should not live. But these animals he has, no one killed them. They died by themselves somehow.
Natural causes, yes.
Natural causes, exactly. Now he has also a lot of human stuff, like cancer in the brain, taking out and put in bottles, like creepy stuff. Brains. Yeah. He has real stuff. It's cool. We also, actually, this is the location for the new music video as well.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. All right, for Distorted Device. Yes.
Yeah. You will see some stuff that maybe you can recognize it, but I think most you won't, because we have filmed a lot outside as well in this area.
Good.
But we made a torture chamber, which is in the same attic, to be honest.
Oh.
To give you a secret.
Okay, you did. You gave me a secret.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can cut back to me for a second, but this is I'm holding in my hand the CD, which is your 4-song EP. I think it's fantastic. And this is Nekrodelirium. The title is Apocalypse. And we listened to Necromentia.
Yeah.
So now we know a little about the delirium in Nekrodelirium. I freaking love it.
It's me.
Yeah, it's you. It's you. That's cool, Sandra. And it's so great to talk to you. And it would be wonderful if Nekrodelirium could jump on a package tour and come to the United States. But, we know that that's difficult to do, especially these days with, all kinds of limitations on this and that in travel. But we'll keep talking to you, and maybe down the road, of course,
Yeah, that would be awesome. We would absolutely love to come to US to play, and especially to Dallas, Texas. Maybe we can meet our friends in Absu as well. That would be perfect.
Yes, wouldn't that be super? Golly. I don't know. We'll have to try and work this out.
And we can maybe visit you in the studio as well, live.
We have a great studio, Sandra. It's down in a bunker. And so,
awesome.
Yeah. So if another hurricane comes to Texas, I think we'd be safe down here. And so, yeah, it's bunker, and it is in an old abandoned building. So I think it may even be haunted here. I'm not sure, but
great.
We'll need you to come check it out. I think.
Yeah.
And there's an abandoned chapel in this building that is really kind of spooky.
Really?
Yeah, I like looking in the
Sounds
old
cool.
chapel.
I think maybe you can survive there when my apocalypse come to this world. Maybe.
See, I mean, you and I think alike, because I there are so many things in this world to despise our planet about, and I just feel like so many people look at it in such a crazy way. I don't know. We'll save that for a future discussion. Fair enough?
Absolutely, but I will mention that the crazy way is always the way I think. Everyone thinks I'm very crazy, and if you know my opinion about what should happen to this world, you will absolutely think I'm crazy too.
I know, because you want it to be blown up or folded in half or something like that. I'm with you. I'm with you on this, Sandra.
I want to eradicate humanity. That's the thing, and not many people like that idea. Well, but I can say I was actually very scared this night because I had a dream that actually this planet, there came some asteroids destroying the planet, and I was scared then. That's actually for real. I was scared.
Well, maybe eradicate humanity. We need to remember that, because Sandra said it here first on the Corpsepaint show, and somehow I'm feeling that this could be a title of a future release from Nekrodelirium. I'm just saying. I'm just guessing.
Maybe. Time will show. If there is any time left.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Hey, so we need to talk again soon and maybe talk about horror movies next time. Sandra, thank you for joining us and being a part of our show. And I love watching your video and visiting with you about it. Just great stuff. I love the dark imagery you're making and the message you send and all of the extreme music. And I think that you bring a power to it. I really do. Fantastic stuff.
Thank you very much. I'm so happy that you actually like my music. It makes me very happy. And thank you so much for all the support.
You're very welcome. Nekrodelirium is the band. Sandra Stensen has been our guest, and we're very grateful. Look for their EP. Get it. Check out their Facebook page, or check out on Amazon. You can order this EP. It's called Apocalypse, from a variety of sources. Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
All righty. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
What do you think, Ziggy? That is a cool band.
Yeah. That was pretty great.
Hey, I'm holding up the Damned DVD. I don't know. Can you see that okay? This is another British punk band I love. Of course, The Damned. And they're cutting a new album and bringing back Paul Gray to play bass guitar on it. This DVD they did is called Don't You Wish We Were Dead. They were on tour earlier this year. That was so fantastic. Did I mention Gas Monkey yet? Because we support Gas Monkey. And Gas Monkey is the venue here in Dallas that has so many great metal shows. And guess what I've got, Ziggy? I got 2 tickets to a show coming up in just a few days. It's called Metal Alliance with Overkill. And if you want these, just message me on Facebook on the Corpsepaint show page. The show is in Dallas, and it's coming up on the 20th. September 20th, Metal Alliance. I've got 2 tickets left. They were donated by Gas Monkey. The venue is Gas Monkey Live for that Metal Alliance tour with Overkill. That is a cool, great venue and a good package tour coming up with Overkill. And then on the 23rd at Gas Monkey is one of my favorite bands from the South, and that is, of course, Goat Whore. Goat Whore is coming on the 23rd, and they're playing with Venom Inc., Venomous Maximus, and some other great bands. Man, what a great show that is as well. We support and love Gas Monkey, and here in Dallas they've got some great metal package tours. Coming up in a moment, we're going to bring on board Meat Train, but first let us whet your appetite with this cool little video teaser that they cut. Oh yeah, that was Meat Train. You like that little teaser? This is an extreme grindcore death metal band from London. I think from London itself, London proper, in the UK. And we'll be talking to Chaz and Mike, I think, here in a moment. We'll try and bring them on board, get with them live. We want to say thanks to these guys for staying up late in the UK and visiting with the Corpsepaint show. We love talking about death metal, so we'll bring these guys on board. Chaz and Mike, Meat Train. Our theme for this show is extremity, sinister metal, extreme metal, and also trains, and also meat, and also beer. Hello, hello.
All right.
Yeah, we're looking for Chaz and Mike from Meat Train.
It's Chaz. Mike's just coming.
All right. Thank you for joining us, guys.
No worries.
I know that you cannot see us on your screen, and actually in our studio at the moment, I'm unable to see you, but that's okay. We can just kind of visit, and we are able to see you on the screen here.
Cool.
Just where I'm sitting, I can't view the monitor, but yes, we can see you here on the show. So what's going on with Meat Train, and how are you guys doing tonight in London?
Well, it's like 1:45, I think. Yeah, we had a good day. Early hours, good rehearsal, good time. Yeah.
Good. And so rehearsal for new songs, or rehearsal for, is there just, you got to always stay tight for the gigs coming up, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, got to make sure we're ready for them shows.
That's right. And I know you're represented by Imperative PR. We like those guys a lot, and I always want to give a shout out to them because I just really like those guys. So Meat Train, what is the scene like for death metal in the UK right now, and how are you loving it? Is there a good response from rabid fans, or you guys tell me?
Seems all right. It's not like it was when we were younger. Maybe it's because there's so many bands able to come out. Maybe it's because we're in London and there's so many gigs all the time. Londoners are a bit spoiled, but as soon as you get out of London, if you go somewhere like Brighton or Hastings or go up north, it's awesome, and people are make a good effort, and you get some good shows.
And people of all ages right now, correct me if I'm wrong, people of all ages want to hear death metal.
Definitely, it's a good time for death metal. Probably the ease of recording, how everybody can just sort of get together and record stuff themselves. So the price has come down big time. So there's just loads of bands cranking out some good stuff.
And there's good.
Yeah, I'll go along with that.
There's good and bad in that, I guess, right?
Of course.
I can't see the bad.
Okay.
There's always bad. You just got to look. But it's not in my face, if you know what I mean. I like the scene. I like what I hear. But there's always a bad one somewhere.
Okay. I guess so, yeah. Well, with Meat Train, now I go to your Facebook page, and there's obviously a lot of tongue-in-cheek humor, which I like. We always try to find the dark humor in extreme metal. And so let's talk about beer.
Awesome.
Hey, I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
beer is my god. Beer is my god.
Good. So in America, of course, there's a lot of craft beer right now. There's a lot of small breweries. So is it the same over there?
Yeah, definitely. Loads of places. Scotland churning out some great beer at the moment. Brewdog. It seems to be that beers are getting stronger and stronger and served in smaller amounts, but you can get a pint if you ask nicely.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah, I know the effects of strong beer.
Well, look. Next time I come over to London, I certainly would like to buy a round. But when
I'll take you up on that.
Good, yeah, please.
It's like £10 a pint in London.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
The beer's on you.
Well, look. Here's the thing. What I get fearful of is this Scottish beer you're mentioning, and somehow I'm thinking that it's pretty dark.
Some of them, but there's a big. If you're into your beers, there's a lot of the blonde beers coming out. The craft ale and lagers, sort of halfway between the two, like 8%, but really, really hoppy. Funnily enough, in the UK, American hops are really popular at the moment.
That is kind of funny.
Yeah, but it's got that very distinct flavour.
But if you want the best beer, go to Germany.
Of course.
This beer.
So let me ask a silly question then. Would Germany kind of be your first, or the next country you'd want to go tour because of the good beer?
It helps.
We already played Germany with Fleshcrawl, and I went there and celebrated my birthday recently with the guys from Fleshcrawl. And
Fleshcrawl.
Man, we want to go back to Germany for sure. It's an awesome country. The people are fantastic. The food's great, and the beer is out of this world.
Yes, and are we in the middle of Oktoberfest right now in Germany, I guess?
No,
it should be kicking off. No, it kicks off next week, I think.
Next week, okay. Yeah.
Because Oktoberfest it starts third week of September.
Yeah.
All right. And how long does it last?
6 weeks.
As long as they hang over.
That's a better answer, yeah.
No, really, is it like 30 days or?
That's
it depends how much you drink.
No, I mean, we try and do Oktoberfest in the States, and it's usually just one weekend,
No, it starts like early September, and Munich doesn't stop till almost October's finished.
Well, see, there you go.
That's October next year.
Right. You remember that band Tankard?
Oh yeah.
Of course. And I still love Tankard, man. I still love them, but it seems like on the album cover, their biggest fan just gets bigger and bigger. I don't know. That beer belly is getting big, man.
Nothing wrong with a big beer belly.
Nothing wrong with it.
That's a lot of money.
That's right. That's a lot of good beer. I'm tasting it right now. I like it when it's ice cold.
Yeah.
Now.
Now, that's something the Americans do really well. Ice cold beer.
Yeah. Now, is that how you drink it?
I do.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. So, I mean, really, anywhere you go in Europe, you can find a good craft beer. Yes?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Pretty much, 100%. Yeah. Yeah, I
managed to find a Scottish brewdog pub in southern Spain earlier this year.
See?
And they were having really excellent beers in there, a good range of craft beers. Yeah, but they had a 6-pint challenge. You get your name on the wall if you just drink 6 pints. We were like, where's the challenge?
Did you get your name on the wall?
I guess you got to be standing up sober to write it on there.
After 6 pints, it's not exactly an issue, is it?
Well, it just depends on what strength you're drinking.
Nice.
And the chasers, of course.
Oh, this is great. So I don't know. Sometimes, man, I overthink things about the logistics of you guys going to tour. If you tour Europe, do you go over to the continent and then rent a van, or do you rent it where you are and then drive it over on the ferry? Or I don't know. I don't know why I'm thinking this, but
we drive because it's there's the Eurotunnel, so it's really easy. You just drive onto the Eurotunnel.
Okay.
You're in France in half an hour, and you'll be in Germany 10 hours later.
Man, you're in France in half an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, the train gets you there, and that's 10 hours is a lot of drinking time as well in the back of the van.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was absolutely hammered by the time I got to Germany.
And if someone else is driving, you better have a good bladder, or just be able to just.
Or a bottle, an empty one.
Hey, so how's the band? How are you guys feeling about all the material? And man, you make a mean sound. It's some great death metal, and it's just something fun about it. There's something fun in your spirit of these songs. I don't know. That's refreshing.
That's interesting. There should be some fun, but for the most part, for us, a lot of it is dealing with a lot of bad troubles, a lot of bad things in the past, and a certainty that shit's just going to get worse and worse and worse.
Okay.
The riotings in the streets, the fighting in the streets, things are going bad. So we try to enjoy it and have a beer and face it well, but you've got to prepare.
You're right. It is kind of more of a serious message when you're saying that. Yes. And so, you guys tell me what's on the horizon for you.
I think the next week the album's out, isn't it, Mike?
Yeah, 29th. Just the week after. The week after.
Of course. And I'm sorry, I didn't even mention this. It's Random Acts of Carnage. Yeah. What a great title, Random Acts of Carnage. And actually, we did just show the teaser here on the show. So Random Acts of Carnage, you're right, the 29th, I believe.
Yeah, to September.
Yeah, of September. So that's right around the corner. So 29th September, Random Acts of Carnage, filthy UK death metal from Meat Train.
And where can people pick that up when it comes out?
HMV, Amazon, iTunes.
Great.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, and I know their Contagion are talking to Plastic Head to make sure it gets into the stores in the States as well. So, yeah, check out our Facebook page, and we'll have as much info there, and Contagion's Facebook page, because contact them direct, and I'm pretty sure that they will put you in the right place.
All right, so Contagion is the label, and your Facebook is, as I recall, is simply Meat Train.
Meat Train Band.
Meat Train Band.
Yeah.
Yeah, Meat Train Band. All right, very good. Our theme on this show seems to be a reoccurring of trains. So having a meat train is just fine with us here.
Cool. We're a juggernaut of hate.
You are a juggernaut of hate. And with my meat train, I always like to have a good craft beer.
Yeah, too right. There's a lot of beers out there. Work your way through them. You've got a whole lifetime to do it.
But when you're listening to Random Acts of Carnage, a great metal title, if there was any, Random Acts of Carnage, the new release, definitely you want to accompany that with some strong Scottish lager, or, I don't know, maybe more of a blonde. I like a beer that kind of I can drink all throughout the day, so I do lean towards the lighter ones.
I try and drink all throughout the day, but I guess it's just run out of time.
I know, the day ends too soon.
Yeah, normally in a sobering mess in the corner.
So, all right. So it is good that you're kind of tackling these topics, but you know, like I said, we enjoy finding the dark humor. And man, we look. Here's our message, man. We're just sick and tired of ordinary, crappy corporate music. And why I started this show was actually the brainchild of our co-host Janie Slash, is really to kind of put a spotlight on some underground music, underground bands that are making great music. Meat Train, and really as an alternative, as a great I don't know, counterbalance to all of that crappy music you hear everywhere you go, and the same 12 songs played again and again and again. I can't stand it anymore. I want to hear some extreme music that's different, that's underground, that's well produced, and that gives me a solid, I don't know, either a boner or an anger inside.
I like the way you put it, yeah. And so do we, which is why we're creating it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Get out there and buy it, man. Get on board that meat train.
Get on board the meat train, because this locomotive is barreling down the tracks, man. You want to make sure you're on the meat train. And support underground metal, support underground bands in general by physically having something in your hand, is how we say this, guys. And that means either a CD or a T-shirt or something physical in your hands. That's how you support a band.
Yeah, definitely. Get it. Yeah, every little helps, as they say. It's obviously we still have costs, and we reduced that cost because Chaz so kindly built the meat studio in his rear gardens, so we could unleash carnage and hell in there.
Yeah, Random Acts of Carnage.
Yeah, it was Random Acts of Carnage as well.
Well,
but yeah.
Well, what we want to know is, did the lawn die?
Yes. Oh, yes. I walked through so much mud to get to it.
So, no. Remember what Lemmy said?
No.
Okay. No, he was
right.
He said several things.
Lawn, right?
He said several things. I'm sorry. I put you on the spot. I'm sorry. No, one of his quotes that I liked was, "We're Motorhead. If we moved next door to you, your lawn would die."
Yes.
Nice.
I remember that one. Yes. Yes. He's probably turning the lawns over upstairs.
Yeah. God, I miss him, man. I miss him.
Oh man, so do we. We played a show just after he died, and and before we went to Nepal and played at the Death Fest, and we slung in Orgasmatron just to say thanks for everything, man.
Yes. And you know, that is a favorite, absolute favorite of mine. So yeah. I'm sure you did it justice, but man, that is a cool song.
Yeah, it is.
I'll guess.
And you know, it is like a juggernaut, so like a train coming at you. So it suited us, and I hope we did him proud. I'm pretty sure we did.
Yes, good. I'm sure you did. And look, and so the visual image you're painting for me here is when Meat Train is on stage, it is like the train coming at you. So it's like this wall of sound, and a lot of people are just going to hate it and run, and they'll flee. But you know what? We don't want them around anyways. We want the rest of us whose ears are bleeding the next morning, you know, but they're smiling because they experienced Meat Train the night before on stage.
Yeah, that's what we aim for. That's what we aim for.
Good. All right. Well, good, man. That's great. So you got to feel proud. I mean, can you give us any other secrets about Random Acts of Carnage? I snoop around really well. I think I'm a good snooper, but I really couldn't find much about, too much about the song lists or anything on Random Acts of Carnage.
The title track has a brilliant guest vocal performance from Stensen of Flesh Crawl, so that's something awesome to look out for.
Yes, indeed.
Him and Mike's vocals go together really, really well for the power of it. It's two different pitches of vocal, and they really work aggressively together.
Yeah, Mike, because you sound kind of evil, Mike. I love it.
There's a lot of anger in his voice. A lot of people sort of don't. They're like, oh, I love the band, the music's great, but those singing, it's just so aggressive. And like, yeah, it's aggressive.
Of course.
It's not necessarily the usual Death style. It's not just the growls. There's a lot more passion and anger in it than there is in a lot of singers, I reckon.
I think in extreme music, there is more passion than in any sappy love song you might hear on the radio right now.
For sure.
No, I do. And really, I think that you guys are part of, and I hope we're contributing as well, and that is shifting the landscape completely of how we define good music. Really, I don't know. I am into your extreme death metal, and I hope that we can convince some American metalheads, to expand their thinking and check out Meat Train, but a lot of other bands as well, and just keep the sinister metal flowing. And so what if it's just kind of our own little stream off to the side? At least we want to just keep it flowing.
Yeah, I would think we want to keep it honest. It needs to be small. It needs to stay like that. As soon as anything starts getting popular, the wrong people start making it, and it gets made for the wrong reasons. It needs to be made for passion. It needs to be made because you want to say something. It needs to be made because you want to create a piece of music that makes somebody want to go out there and hit someone in the face. It needs to happen, and if it gets popular, it's not good. It will get worse.
You know what, Chance? That's well said. That is well said. I couldn't agree more. That's right. It's well said. That's well said. Let's keep it a small group and a devoted group and an energetic group, but let's keep the life going. And keep it pure. Keep it pure. I couldn't agree more. Well, man, congratulations. So Random Acts of Carnage, and the teasers that you guys have put out have just sounded so intense, and it's just really enticing to me. This is I don't know, UK extreme metal to, of the highest degree, in my opinion. Let's get on board the freaking Meat Train.
Yeah.
If you want a little secret, tomorrow around about midday, there'll be a new video released of not the title track, but one of the main tracks off the album. Around about midday UK time.
Well, that's great. Now, will that first show on your Facebook?
Check our Facebook. Check Imperative's Facebook. It'll spread.
All right, good. Well, we'll help spread it here, too. We love spreading diseases here. No, I'm kidding.
Awesome.
Yeah, we all like spreading diseases here. The disease of good, filthy UK death metal. It's contagious, man.
It's contagious, man. Yeah, and look, if you don't jump on this Meat Train, you're gonna be plowed over, and someone is probably gonna lose their life because we don't want to run over you. You need to jump on.
If you don't get on that Meat Train, the Meat Train will come and find you.
and earlier in the show we had Sandra. She's the lead singer of a Norwegian extreme metal band, and I know you've got. Is she the bass player who's in your band?
Oh, Icky, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. What's her name?
Icky Dredgewood.
Icky, yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Hails to more women in metal. God, that's great.
Yeah. She's the most brutal of us all.
Yes, I imagine. You know,
Yeah,
look,
definitely. That she is one brutal, beautiful woman.
and she is extreme, and because she is female, she has a higher pain threshold, I imagine, compared to us guys. And so I could just see her just going wild on stage, man. I don't know. I'm envisioning it right now.
It is an awesome thing.
She brings the pain, and she unleashes it with that bass. I'm telling you, that low bottom end bass, it's real filth.
That's right. Well, we said on this show before that sometimes that low, loud bottom end bass. Come on, give me something we can build a foundation on. Will realign your spine if you need some chiropractic work. So, see, another added bonus to go into a metal show.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, guys, thanks for having fun with us, man, and
awesome.
Congrats on the release later this month. Random Acts of Carnage, 29th of September. But new video coming out tomorrow. Meat Train Band is the Facebook page, and all hails to you guys, man. Keep making the extreme stuff, and I certainly support it.
Awesome, thanks, dude.
Thanks very much. Tell your listeners when it comes out, share that video, please. We want the whole world to see it.
Okay. Well, we'll share it on our Corpsepaint Show Facebook page and help get the word out, and we will ask that others do the same. So new song tomorrow, new video tomorrow around midday, and that's on Meat Train Band Facebook page, and I will certainly look for that. But, man, all hails to you guys, so get on the Meat Train.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for your time, mate.
You're very welcome, and hopefully we can drink some beer together again soon.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. If we ever get to these States, we will certainly drink a beer because it's on you.
Yeah, that's right. Come and find me because I'm pledging you right here. I will buy the round. Come find me.
Cool. We will find you and we will take you up. Cheers, mate.
That's Chaz and Mike. Chaz and Mike from the wonderful Extreme Meat Train. Filthy UK death metal. Yeah, heck yeah. Man, that was fun. All right, so now I know we got another teaser video of Meat Train that we're going to kind of transition with here, and I hope you're seeing our cool backgrounds here in our bunker studio. We want to show you some real cool artwork on the wall here, and as well, we will shortly be playing our recorded phone call with SARGEIST. We spoke with their lead singer. That's coming up in a moment. Can I ask you guys a favor, and that is go to our YouTube page. It's the Corpsepaint Show, and subscribe. We need a few more subscribers. I'm going to be honest with you, and I appreciate it if you would do that. All it means is we'll email you, that's all, when a new video is popped in, and we're always going to try and bring you great content about underground music, extreme music, punk, metal, grindcore, and horror films, and bring you some interesting news on maybe sideshow or circus events as well. But We always want to look for the extreme and bring it to you. We're certainly not a mainstream program. We certainly don't want to go down the main middle of this road. We're going to be way off to the side. We tend to walk the left-hand path, and I hope that you guys will join us if you support what we do. We want to bring you interesting, cool, extreme music that we think is from the heart. We had the pleasure of talking on the phone with Profundus. He is the lead singer of extreme satanic metal band SARGEIST. This is an awesome band, but not for the lighthearted. They're satanic. They bring it to you in your face. They play extreme black metal, and they're proud of it. And SARGEIST is coming to North America. They're going to be touring Mexico in the month of November, here just coming up in a few weeks, and are playing a few dates in central Mexico. They have a strong following in Mexico and all of South America. I know that they did play the Maryland Death Fest. I believe it was Maryland Death Fest earlier this year, and we're always glad, man, when they come back to North America. Had a pleasure of talking to Profundus about a variety of topics. It's all very interesting. And so we're going to play that for you now and kind of crank up the volume. I know it was a little bit low. We want everyone to be able to hear this, and then we'll talk further.
Well, hello.
Hello, Profundus.
Yes.
Yes, very good to talk to you. This is Satan from the Corpsepaint show, and I am recording our call, and what we'll do is play this on our show. It'll be in a few days.
All right, fantastic.
Yes, very good. Well, first, we're very glad to see you're coming back to North America and Mexico. So one of my questions was, yes, they have good weather and good beer. Are those some of the factors you look for when you travel overseas?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm not personally a fan of climates myself. I prefer coldness and darkness, and I think that's why Finland is a perfect place for me to live. But when it comes to Mexico and of course other foreign countries I travel, I'm very interested in the local history, culture, nature, and of course art. And of course local food. People are an important role in the big picture, but the roots of each country are the things that I'm most interested in, because I think the fundamentals of each country is built on these roots.
Yes.
In addition to this, yes, it's great to see strong support for black metal in Mexico, and we are very anxious getting there in October.
Yes. They are a very strong black metal country. There's no doubt. And I know that there will be fans from Texas that will make the drive down there to see you as well. So
yeah, that's really good. And yeah, I haven't been in Mexico before myself. So the other members of SARGEIST, of course, yes, but and yes, I heard about this when we were playing in Colombia earlier this year, that the support in Mexico is also very strong. So that's good to hear.
Yes. How was the Maryland Death Fest?
Yeah, we actually enjoyed it. The crowd was very strong, and all in all, we were very satisfied. It was quite a quick visit, so we hadn't that much time to walk around and enjoy our time there. But when it comes to the arrangements and new people we met, that was insanely good. So no bad words at all regarding Maryland Death Fest.
It's good to see that there seems to be a lot of American fans for SARGEIST.
Yeah, seems so. That is of course that delights my heart, and I mean to inspire people to get their inner black flame burning even more, and if I have anything to give them, I'm really really happy.
Yes.
Actually, so
if fans want to purchase your material, your CDs or vinyl or shirts, where do you direct them to go? Is it just all off of your Facebook or your website?
yeah, it depends really. Of course, you can always. It's quite easy to contact us directly, the band. I mean, so we have a Facebook page and whatnot. So we actually reply quite fast. It's a couple of us running the contact details from Facebook, so you can always contact us directly from there. For instance, then we have our label that you can contact, and of course, I guess it's easy to Google the rest. I think you have many places to find our stuff.
Yes.
So yeah.
Good. And I did see there was a great. I'm looking for it right now. Some information on sort of the other merch you had, and I saw that from your Facebook page. It all looked very good. All right. My other question was regarding dark horror movies. Of course, that's something that we talk a lot about on our show, the Corpsepaint show, and we do appreciate Nordic horror cinema. And I can think of movies like Rare Exports or Sauna, but I have a feeling that there's a lot more that we probably don't know about in America. Are there Scandinavian or maybe Finnish horror films that you like the most, or maybe you want to get the word out about?
Yeah, I am a horror movie enthusiast myself, but not sure. Considering the Nordic horror cinema, Finland at least, in my perspective, is not that high in the ranks. Since not sure there's no horror movies coming from Finland, to be honest, or at least from my perspective. Of course, you have some low budget amateurish flicks at best, I guess. But I was just thinking, couple ones. Incoming, or like I've been pumping up with these. Let me see. I think it was a Swedish one. This sort of a bit different vampire movie that I. It was something called. I think you have a American version, like a remake from that one, and I think it was called Let the Right One In.
Yes, very familiar. Yeah, that was a good movie. Yes.
Yeah, but I think the American one was okay, but when it comes to the original one, the Swedish one, that I think was quite good and quite fresh from these newer movies. Of course, there's a lot of these kind of cult movies and old movies that I prefer. For instance, Evil Dead, the first one, naturally, that I think is my number one movie overall. So yeah.
So Evil Dead is your favorite?
Yeah, I would say so, hands down. Yeah.
Very good, very good. We're actually involved in a special showing of Hellraiser. That is, it's actually coming up here in about 2 weeks. Is the 30th anniversary of Hellraiser release, and we've got a big event here in Dallas that we're doing for that. So.
That's nice to hear. Yeah, like Hellraiser, the first three parts, they are actually quite really good.
Yes.
When it comes to the next ones, and the Hellraiser 4, 5, 6, I don't know. I think there's a dozen out of them, but the first three of those, they're really classic.
And then don't forget, of course, we're here in Texas, so Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh yes. That is. It's really hard to put, like, if I would need to do like top three movies. I'm not sure, but Evil Dead, Hellraiser, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Exorcist, this kind of stuff, like the old ones, they are always close to my heart.
Yes. anything that you want to say to fans who will be seeing your show in Mexico?
That's always quite a hard one for me to send any additional greetings to them. I just wish they come with their full heart and bring their inner black flames into the shows and ceremonies. I'm anxious to meet a lot of them, so just approach me if you see me there, and let's have a talk. So I really want to know you guys and to hear about your history and background, because that's really, I think that's really interesting when it comes to Mexico alone. So
yes,
yeah,
good. Can I ask you this, Profundus? Has the band talked about a possible live recording, live CD?
Not in my knowledge. That might happen sometimes, but not that I'm aware of at the moment. We are, during this fall, we are actually starting, as we speak, we're starting the recordings of the new album.
Oh,
so it will be a full length album with new material. So we're just about to start the recording of the drums. Actually, I think next week or something like that. So that will happen.
Oh, good. Is there a name?
Not actually, not yet. So it's just forming up, and so we have the material ready, of course, and lyrics and stuff like that. But when it comes to the name, we haven't put. We have some ideas, but we haven't decided 100% yet.
It will be good to have a disc or a release with your vocals on it. That will be great. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
Profundus,
yeah.
Yes, well, I just wanted to say thank you, and we are posting information about the Mexico shows on our television format show. And we
okay, thank you.
Yes, we are a live weekly metal TV series, and we also have a strong segment on horror films, and so your talk about horror films is greatly appreciated as well. So we cover all of that, and we certainly, I put it all under one umbrella and call it sinister metal. So we include black metal, extreme metal, and thrash, as well as death metal. So we, but certainly appreciate your band, SARGEIST, and so glad to see you coming back to Mexico. Now, can I ask if do you fly directly, or do you actually have a layover in Dallas first?
I actually have no idea yet. We have the flight tickets, but I haven't looked into the details. So
okay.
I guess we're landing somewhere in. I think we have the first connection in Copenhagen, I guess, and from there we fly there. But no idea about the details. I need to dive deep into those later. So
all right.
But we will be there in October. That's for sure.
Yes,
so,
yes, indeed. Yes, very good. All right. Well, great to talk to you. And if it's all right with you, I would like to stay in touch on Facebook and such, and stay in touch with you guys. And maybe we can even visit some more again, or even after the Mexico shows, or any other announcements for the new recording.
Yeah, that would be great. So let's just keep in touch, and thanks for this session, and perhaps we'll see you in Mexico.
Yes, indeed. And I'm not sure if I'll be traveling to Mexico, but that's undecided at this point. But certainly would like to stay in touch with you, and thank you much for your time, Profundus. So all the best to SARGEIST and in your travels, and look forward to all that information. So thank you again.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Have a nice week.
All right. Appreciate it. Bye now.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, bye.
You heard it here first. Our guy's talking about new album release. Also coming to Mexico. I always worry when a band comes to Mexico in the fall with the hurricane season going on and all that. But, you know, could there be a nicer guy You know, my point is that extreme metal is filled with the nicest people. That's my perspective. Want to give a big congratulations to Deadly Sins Burlesque and Sideshow here in Dallas. They had a 4-year anniversary. They called it the Siniversary at Wits End in Deep Ellum, the entertainment capital of Texas, Dallas, Texas. That was yesterday. Also, big thanks and shout out to our friends at TST. They supported, yesterday they were out at the Pride event at Lee Park here in Dallas. So, man, congrats to those guys. And thank you for supporting and such to TST. Did want to mention again, I've got 2 tickets to give away. Message me on Facebook, the Corpsepaint Show. You can send a private message, a direct message to Corpsepaint Show on Facebook. And if you want 2 free tickets, they're donated by the wonderful Gas Monkey venue, Gas Monkey Live in Dallas, for the Metal Alliance Tour. That's on September 20th. I know, just 3 days away. And then on September 23rd, also at Gas Monkey, got to give big hails to one of my favorite bands, Goat Whore. They're playing with Venom Inc. on the 23rd at Gas Monkey.
The Bloodstained Earth Tour.
Oh, okay. Thank you, man. Bloodstained Earth. I love that. So, Ziggy, it's Venom Inc. and Goat Whore.
Toxic Holocaust.
Toxic Holocaust.
The Convalescence, Venomous Maximus,
Yep.
and Sparrows.
And Sparrows, what a great local band. So get there early and see all the bands. That's on the 23rd out at Gas Monkey Live. So that's all the news about Gas Monkey, right? So let's transition a little bit. SARGEIST was who we were talking to, and of course, man, what an extreme metal band. I love those guys. I told you about the news regarding The Damned cutting a new album with Paul Gray. I think that's great for all you punk fans. And we got to talk for a minute about Satan in the news. So once again, Satan is getting a lot of press, and he gets a lot of press. Guess what? It's not from us. It's from religious extremists who are all Christian, and they are obsessed with Satan, and they think that he holds a lot of power, or that I don't know. I don't know. I don't have it quite figured out. So we've got this article here, and I just want to make sure. Yeah, you've got it up. So for some reason I can't quite see it at the moment. So what is that, Ziggy? Is this? It's this Christian pastor in the military?
Yes, an Air Force chaplain, and he claims that Christian soldiers who tolerate other faiths serve Satan.
Okay. That's giving Satan a lot of power. But what is the real message here? The real message here, and this is an article from The Friendly Atheist, our good friend Hemant Mehta.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show, indeed. And the point is, we live in America where there is no state religion. The point is, we live in America where there is a First Amendment. The point is, we live in America where there is pluralism. And yet, here we have another example. And while this is happening, all the Christians are screaming that they're being persecuted. And yet you hear statements and see statements like this, an Air Force chaplain who thinks that if you're Mormon, Jewish, atheist, I don't know, Muslim, whatever, another religion other than Christianity, that somehow you're serving Satan. Get over yourself. This is a kind of outrage that just should not be tolerated in the 21st century. It's incredible. Why there isn't, I don't know, a huge outcry about this, I won't understand. Well, maybe I do. And that is politicians want to preserve that corner of the vote. This is something that I just want to point out to you that we'll be revisiting on this show, and that is Satan in the news. He apparently holds a lot of power and is given it by all of these religious extremists. Another example, right, Ziggy? Look, man, so we want to end it on a positive note. How are you doing? How's your week? And what's up at you're performing twice a week, man, over at Backdoor Comedy.
Yeah, 2 nights a week, 3 shows a week. You can catch me every Thursday. That show starts at 8:30 at the Backdoor Comedy Club, and there are 2 shows on Saturdays at 8 and 10:15.
Yeah, so every Thursday you're busy. Every Saturday, you're busy, and you're having fun at Backdoor Comedy Club.
Yeah, it's always great. I perform with a lot of very funny, very talented people. My boss is pretty chill there.
Oh, yeah.
Last night we grabbed one of the other people that I work with and made him a D&D character outside of the club. Which, if there's one thing that will not get you laid, it's being a comedian. If there's two things, it's being a comedian and playing Dungeons and Dragons.
So how did you make him a character? How did you?
It's a process.
Right.
It takes a lot more than you'd think.
So look, another reminder to our audience, Ziggy, is I have posters here on the tables for that movie, American Satan. The director is Ash Avildsen. Ash, if you're listening, man, I'd love to have you chat with us on this show. Come on. The movie American Satan comes out, I think it's on Friday the 13th, October 13th. Look, the cool thing about next month is we have a Friday the 13th right in the middle of October. Plus, the fact is now we're in sort of, we're on the downhill slide of September, right? It's fall, and we're having fun with all kinds of Halloween stuff. So think of this show as sort of the Halloween headquarters. Is that fair enough? We're going to always bring you extreme darkness that you'll love, and we're going to bring you a whole bunch of fun, and we're going to bring you Janie Slash's weekly dose of horror. She'll be back next week. We gave her a day off, but we're going to bring you a lot of horror and a lot of fun, and all to the Corpsepaint show. So look, let me give a quick thanks to Little Spark Films, Kelly and Joe, who I saw over the weekend. Well, they were there yesterday down in Deep Ellum, and that's Voodoo Magic Designs. And, of course, our guest, Sandra Stensen from Nekrodelirium on this show. And then also we had the guys, Chaz and Mike from Meat Train. What an extreme death metal band they are. And, of course, talking to Profundus from SARGEIST. Thanks, you guys. And hail Satan. Let's go have some fun. And we'll see you in a week.
Corpsepaint show. Every Sunday we're here live. We're going to give you 90 minutes of live, great, irreverent shit. And also just talk about Satan and talk about movies and talk about metal and talk about Janie Slash's weekly dose of horror.
Yeah. Texas Frightmare Weekend. I am here with Dee Wallace. Don't stare at my boobs the whole time.
Sure. I do get comments from occasionally religious fanatics.
I've seen people stopping down
who want to wag their finger at me for reading Satan.
The Corpsepaint show rules!